Welcome to Entry Points Radio. Every week we share human-curated playlists to break the algorithm. We're going to take a deep dive into new tracks, new humans, and new sounds to fall in love with from around the world. I'm Kate Bass.
And I'm Richie Steigner. We founded Global Music Collective to discover and create new music across boundaries. We've spent the past decade meeting fascinating people in over 50 countries.
These are the real songs and real stories that we share with real people along the way. This is Entry Points Radio.
We're back, and we're 10.
We're 10!
We're 10.
Welcome to the 10th episode. So crazy. Yeah, we did it. We made it to 10. It's funny. This has become like one of my favorite parts of my week. Even when I'm, grumpy and having a bad week or whatever, it's still 10 weeks. 10 weeks. How long is 10 weeks? Is that 3 months?
No, isn't a month 4 weeks? So we're like
2 months, 2.5 months.
Big math nerds over here.
Well, I tend to exaggerate, as no one will be surprised to know. I tend to exaggerate based on my emotional attachment to things. So, I assume that I've known Richie for, 25 years.
Sure.
I assume that our podcast has been going for, many months.
Next business
and
conversation.
I am 172.
Wow, well, you don't look a day over 100, so congratulations on that.
Just watch Will be looking like this when we're in our hundreds. Did you hear about that Brian guy? We don't need to talk about the Brian
guy. The Brian guy?
Yeah. The billionaire guy multimillionaire who decided he was going to cheat death and is spending all his money. Oh, you actually don't know about him. His name's Brian Johnson. It's very interesting. A lot of people are really mean about him, but I kind of feel like let the man do what his idea is that he's got all this money and he wants to figure out how to extend the human life as long as possible and defeat aging. And he truly believes that he's doing it for the betterment of humanity, which, to be honest, if he's willing to do all of these, very make these extreme life changes in order to live longer and not age, then maybe he is doing some valuable research for humanity. I don't know. But all these people are mean because he just recently got diagnosed with an incurable disease.
Wait, so people are dunking on him now because it's like, haha, you got a disease. You're not going to live forever.
People are really disappointing. And it's like, okay, I get it. He's rich and it's a little odd, he goes to sleep at 5 p.m. and, monitors. He's all this health maxing stuff that's become popular. Yeah. So I think a lot of people are just looking at him as this representation of, first world problems kind of stuff, I guess. I don't know. But I guess I feel kind of give the guy a break. He's not doing anything to hurt you. He's just a guy who's got a passion of trying to figure this thing out, and he's decided to take on something really ambitious, and I don't know why that makes people so mean. Let's let someone have a thing. I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
It makes me think of there's I've heard of a lot of cases of scientists that will just inject themselves with whatever virus that they're studying, or they'll get the disease on purpose so that they can study it. Because I think sometimes trying to find cures for things is hard to get approval for and hard to do ethically. And if you're just willing to do it to yourself, then there was a alpha-gal. It's this I think it's an enzyme or a protein or something that is in meat that people become very allergic to after being bitten by a tick. And it's hard to study because you would have to infect somebody with that tick bite and then study their life after. And nobody wants to become allergic to meat, especially if you're a meat eating person. But this guy, the scientist, was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. So he got bit by 100 ticks, and now he has this thing, and so he can, I don't know.
Good for him.
Yeah, I guess if you're committed to your science, then go for it. But
that's what sucks. I'm about to pause. I can't last without my seltzer water in the morning.
Speaking of first world
problems.
Yes, I've injected myself with peptides and seltzer water. It's not working.
I think that's the thing that people didn't like about this guy Brian is that he's not a scientist of this particular thing. He's not like a longevity researcher or whatever the hell that means. I don't remember how he made his money, but he made all of his money, I think, probably from tech or something like that. I think people have an issue with the fact that he's doing something outside of his discipline. You know, he's all of a sudden passionate about this thing, and they're like, just go be a tech bro. And it's like, okay, you say you hate tech bros. So then when a tech bro wants to do something like science related with an actual mission and purpose, then y'all want to like come after him because it's not your specialty or whatever. And if he was like a longevity researcher, you know, who happened to have a lot of money, I don't think anyone would judge it. And it's such a bummer about humanity that we have to do this to each other. Like, I don't know, let people have their passions and try to figure out they're not hurting anyone. What's the problem?
I know.
You know?
That
Anyway.
I'm triggered by that. It reminds me of high school in like, you know, in gym class, the gym teacher's like, all right, everybody run around the gym 10 times. And then, you know, half the class is just like walking and who cares because it's gym class. But I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to try hard and I'm going to, yeah. And this was me because I just am that way, I guess. But
Yeah.
I got made fun of pretty vociferously because like I just wanted to do it. And
I love that. And I'm sorry that that happened to you.
well, it's maybe inevitable. Like there are, no, I think no matter what you do in life, you're just gonna get that kind of like. There's gonna be people who don't like what you're doing if you're putting yourself out there. If you're doing something that you want to do, like I wouldn't go so far to say like haters gonna hate, but like I think people see stuff that you're doing, they're like, well, they recognize they could do it too, and they don't want to, or that if I'm doing it, then they're gonna be pushed harder to do it by the gym teacher, and so it impacts them. But I don't know. I kind of applaud people for if you want to try something, even if like people are gonna tell you like, stop, man, like you're making us look bad or you're being annoying. Like I don't care. Like I'm gonna run around the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this Brian guy, I don't know anything about him other than what you've just told me. So
I mean, I don't know a whole lot more than what I told you. I just find it, I agree with you about everything you just said, and I find it interesting and kind of like, it's one of the things that I wish we could maybe grow out of as humans, like this whole taking issue with other people doing things that we feel like us ourselves can't do. And just the other day, I was, there was someone who wanted to take voice lessons, and so you know they asked me like, what are your qualifications? And I was like, oh, okay. And so I sent her my website.
Yeah.
And she looked at my website and she saw, you know, like, you know, my Broadway background and my opera background, and then like, oh, she taught at Pepperdine University, and then like, oh, she started a nonprofit, and oh, she started doing stuff with like tech, and like, oh, she has a book published, and she was scrolling through it and like, oh, you're a public speaker too. And she made a joke about it and it didn't hurt my feelings, but she made a joke about it that was like, oh, you're really extra. Like, when do you have time to do other stuff or something like that? And I don't know, it's something that we should be proud of, that we care a lot about stuff and that we try a lot of different things and that we're pushing and striving, you know, to do it. And I've had some people make some like offhanded comments about like, yo, we've got a podcast now too, you know? I do think it's interesting. Why do we oppress ourselves so much that then we want to tear down people who are trying to be brave to do the thing that we, you know, we all, I don't know.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to go. I like what you said. I agree with what you said.
Yeah. I don't know. I just part of the human condition, maybe. Maybe there is like, well, maybe. I think there's like part of our like evolution. This is from my like psychology brain where I don't agree with everything that we do as humans, but I at least like there's got to be some reason why we do that in like an evolutionary way. I believe that we've evolved. I believe that most of our traits come from some probable survival mechanisms that we've had. And I have to wonder if like if doing too much has it will get you closer to dying faster. If there's like go all the way back to like the woolly mammoth days, and the one guy that's like, I'm gonna run for another 10 miles and then I'm gonna chase this cougar down, and the rest of the group is like, bro, like we should go home, like it's getting dark, and the guy's like, no, we're gonna do it, and then that's the guy that dies. Like maybe there's like a correlation between that and like doing too much. But
You think this is a faint trace of our primal history from the woolly mammoth days?
I think everything is, in a sense, like, it's like, why do snails move to bigger shells? It's not because like they like bigger shells. Like, there's a survivalist thing in there. Like, everything that we do, if you are, you know, subscribed to evolutionary theory, comes from some like evolved survival mechanism to propagate our species more efficiently and more consistently. Yeah. And
That was like that meme. You know that meme with the little girl who, or the woman who's like, she's like,
oh,
She's
kombucha
like a
girl.
backwards version of that. Yeah, kombucha girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, Richie, but I do wonder. You got me at the end when you said like to like efficiently continue to propagate our species, and like, okay,
Optimization.
sure, if we're oh god, if like, yeah, if we don't strive and we don't flourish, like kind of like surface level skim and procreate, then yeah, it's great.
There is a segue here, and I think it's that like why does music then exist? Like, why do we make songs? I think the only correlation is like bird song, like birds and maybe whales and that sort of creatures. They make music, they make songs for communication. Maybe, like, we don't exactly know. We have to kind of reverse engineer why they make these sounds, but sometimes they do that for fun. Yes, Kate in the back.
Did you know that the reason why we like birdsong is that the human nervous system actually is impacted by the sound of birdsong because the primal instinct inside of ourselves knows that when birds are singing, there is not danger nearby. That's why we find like a
Fabulous.
pleasant bird singing this like lovely, peaceful thing. It like triggers our lizard brain to be like, you're okay, you're
I
safe.
like that. I imagine the same applies to crickets, where if you hear crickets, it's super soothing because there's no big creature stomping around outside
Are
your
crickets
den.
that smart? Do crickets know if there aren't? I don't know. Do crickets
I
stop cricketing
Yeah, you
when
know, when you walk
there's
outside and you walk by a cricket, it stops cricking.
cricket?
Like cricket, yeah.
Oh,
And
Rich and the cricket.
they can, like, if you think about it, they can be kind of annoying. They're just like rah, 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 like in their own like little
Yeah,
ears.
they're
But
so
it's so
cute.
lovely. It's so
I
nice.
love.
But yeah, anyway, like the broader conversation about like why do we even do music? Why do we fund the music? Why do we pay for it? Why do we, teach it in schools? Why do we propagate styles and traditions?
I get really frustrated with the overwhelming. I guess I think it's ideology, frankly, that people don't even realize they're kind of indoctrinated with that. That funding the arts is charity.
Mhm.
It's not that it's a public service; it's that it's charity.
Mm.
Philanthropy is a confusing term because a lot of times we, us us plebes like to think that philanthropy is associated with, donating to charity or setting up charitable organizations, et cetera, everything for like, the better good. And arts are for the better good, but it is not charity. What we
Mm.
are doing is a public service because people without arts are living in gray boxes of silence. Like, we need the arts for so many deep, important reasons that are why we've evolved beyond the lizard brain. Like,
Yeah.
it's so important. Culture is so important. And it just bothers me. I don't know who to blame. I don't know where it began, this idea that arts are just entertainment and entertainment is just fun. And like, well, what do you have to, what's in it for me? Like, everything is in it for you. Everything.
Mm.
All of the songs on our playlists, all of the colors around you, all of the, anyway, I could go on about it forever, but it just makes me so sad. It is not charity to support the arts. You are bettering your life by supporting the arts. People argue about, is it the government's duty to support, to create infrastructure that supports the arts? I think that helps flourishing societies for sure. But it is also a civic duty, and it just makes me sad.
I'm supposed to meet a guy today. I kind of don't even want to say like his role or job, but
I
it's
know.
at
I know.
he basically is the head of a job that I've wanted my whole life, like since I've been like 3 years old and I heard of jobs. This was the job that I've wanted, and I've been like laboring over like what do I say to him, because on the surface, I want to be like, please give me a job doing that thing. I think part of the conversation that I want to have with him is that he's come from an architectural background and is in a design field now, and I'm coming from music, but I have an architecture degree and come from psychology and build furniture. All creative ventures, it's all like the same religion. It's not like you are a graphic designer, you are an automobile designer, and you are a musician. It is all like we are just trying to figure out how to make the human condition livable and better and more enjoyable. And I think sometimes it's easy to say like, oh, this makes more money, so it's better. But that is just a metric. Money is just a metric. It's not a qualifier of goodness. And that, I think that is a trap of capitalism, or of just like money in general, is like, oh, I have more money than you, so I'm better than you. And living in Beverly Hills right now, it's like very apparent that you can walk around with your $4,000 sunglasses and look at me with disdain. Everything is design. Everything is human creation. And I think to like look at music and the arts as a side part, as a side project or a side quest, you've missed the entire plot of being a person. And good for you for like optimizing your systems and ROIs and everything. Like, good job. But like, go home to the gray walls and look at them and say like, yeah, okay, we must do better than this.
I know so many people who make so much more money than me, who go home to their gray walls and tell me how much that they wish that they had more color in their life. Like, I'm not even saying that symbolically. I have truly so many people who say that all the time.
Hmm.
And I don't know, it just makes me think of, with all the traveling we've been doing, and, you and I have made huge risks and huge sacrifices and huge compromises in our lives to be able to build what we've built, even to the degree that we have so far. And I have so many people coming up to me all the time being like, how do you do it? How do you get to go all over the world? How are you doing all these amazing things? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm I'm just doing it. Like, we're just putting in the work,
Yeah.
We're just trying to find a way to get the money, get the people, get on the plane, do the thing. Like, you just do it. And it's interesting. I think until people start to realize what it's like, and I actually have hope that I don't even want to say the words, because AI has become the new COVID. Like, remember when we were in COVID and everyone was like, oh my God, another conversation about COVID?
Yeah.
But I do have hope that with the direction that tech is going, which isn't all horrible, but with the direction that it's going, I have hope that people are going to get so tired of just this constant churn of the same thing, like, but yeah, I walked past a tech office recently, like one of the big fancy tech companies in Austin. I walked past their main flagship office, and it's in this beautiful building. And the inside of the building and the lobby has like a couple, modular couches and the big white walls. And it looks very sleek and very clean and completely and utterly soulless, except for like some bright colors that are clearly, like in brand with the corporate everything. Yeah. Every single person, probably even down to like the person working at the front desk at that building, makes more money than I do. Every single person.
Guaranteed.
And I thought about it and I thought, yeah, but every day I live in like beauty and aesthetics and connection and relationships and color and art. And I don't know, like, I'm rich in my own way.
I heard that as of last month, we have passed 50% on Spotify. The amount of songs that get uploaded every day, it is more than 50% AI music on Spotify, which to me is like, it's mostly AI now. You can say that. And to their credit, Spotify has started labeling the accounts and the songs to say that they're an artificially intelligent song or artist, and they don't include them in their editorial playlists anymore, which is like, okay, that's a small step that you're not like pushing AI music, but it's still there and you're going to come across it. And to that point, I think whatever music you're listening to, you have to be a little bit intentional, especially with a service where you basically get this music for free. It's basically I mean, if you pay for the service, what's it, like $13 a month? You get Spotify Unlimited or Pro or whatever it's called. But you can listen to it for free, and you're going to come across AI music. And it's not just Spotify, Tidal and Apple and Bandcamp, whatever you're on. There is AI music there. So you have to be a little more intentional. If you're going to get something for free, which, speaking of the tech companies, you get free Gmail, you get free Google Drive. You still have to be a little intentional about like how you use these things, what you put on there, what you put into your ears, and it's so easy to like, kind of fall into the like, oh, I don't have to worry about this now. It's nice. They've given me a free thing. Girl, nothing's free. It's like there's always a little catch, whether it's about your data, whether it's about being able to like sift through AI music. There's always a little extra work. It's not free, and it's worth remembering that. So on that super cynical...
two things that come to mind as you're saying it. A lot of people in the music world have been celebrating this is a huge win of Spotify protecting artists. I don't mean to just blanketly have issues with Spotify, but I feel kind of like if they were really interested in protecting artists, there's other stuff that they would have done, and they would have done this sooner. I feel that they're protecting their profit, and I think that's the thing that people need to remember is Spotify is not music. Spotify is a platform, and the music that people are getting for free is not being supported by their free subscription. And the second thing I wanted to say is that I heard a interview recently with someone who worked in tech, and they were saying that what people need to remember is that we are no longer the customers. We're no longer the consumers. We are the product. Like, you're getting all this stuff for free. You're not the customer. There's a reason why there's no customer service line you can call for Instagram or Facebook or Gmail or any of
right.
this.
Hey,
you're not a customer.
Mr. Zuckerberg, my Instagram account is slow. What's going on?
And I think we still are operating with this stuff thinking that we are the customers. And I find that deeply disturbing. Well, on that happy note, who should go first for the playlist this week? Sorry, I don't know why.
It's up to you. I don't have a ton of time, so we'll have to put a little bit of afterburner on these ones.
Afterbirth? Ew.
Afterburner.
Oh.
Who says afterbirth?
Why don't we power through mine first? Mine this week isn't super deep.
Doing this podcast, it's vacillating between like, oh, I just like this song, or this is a song that I think has contextual meaning, historical meaning, depth to it, pertinence.
Yeah. Pertinence.
Anyway, pertinence.
Pert Plus. What happened to Pert Plus?
What did happen to Pert Plus? Wasn't that the anti-dandruff shampoo?
I don't remember.
Or was that
I thought that was
Selsun
Head
Blue?
and Isn't that Head and Shoulders? I don't know.
That was Head and Shoulders, yeah. All right. Here we go. Kate's Week 10 list coming. Woo! Ah! What? Look at that.
Oh, how cute and fun.
Number one.
I need you to see, Richie, if you think that I put that on as a nice thing, do you see the little green check mark next to that song?
Yeah.
That means that's one of the few songs that I have downloaded to my phone so I can listen to it even when I don't have internet.
Oh, you know what? That means a lot. That's cool. Yeah. Yay, I made the list. I'm on the list.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kate.
You're welcome. I have been wanting to put this song on by Richard Stegner for a very long time. And I don't know. It like no week really felt like the right week, but this song genuinely has been in my head this week. Like not just like, yay, Richie's my friend, and I'm trying to like rep for my friend, but it's a great song for so many reasons. But also, it's our 10th episode, and it felt kind of like, oh, it's a fun way to start the 10th episode. So that's why I wanted to go first because I wanted to talk about it.
That's cool. Okay, I feel very honored to have made the list. So thank you for including.
Yay.
This song on there.
So Richard Stegner is first. You all might recognize this name. This is my favorite Richard Stegner song. So I'm going to give a little bit of background and then he can tell if this is correct. So during COVID, Richie, being the kind of guy who actually runs when you're supposed to run in gym class, decided that he was going to... By the way, I just also need to say, One of the things that made Richie and me friends is that we are both like this. Like during COVID and
True.
the first 2 weeks of COVID, I wrote, recorded, produced,
You
and
did.
released my own album that was like, it was the best I could do at the time with like a 2008 Apple laptop and a Casio keyboard. But so I have always respected and admired Richie's it's not just hustle because he's not doing it for uh just like trying to
For
make
money.
money. Although boy,
Clearly.
wouldn't that be
That'd be
nice?
nice. Oh, if only. Yeah.
But so Richie is, among many other wonderful talents that Richie has. Richie's a great producer. He's a guitarist, as we've also discussed. He's a beautiful singer, and he sings in styles that he doesn't even realize he's good at singing in. But he is also an incredible beatboxer, and I need everyone to know that my previous understanding of a cappella music. I had heard a group called Manhattan Transfer that I think is really great. I had heard these guys called the Trench Coats when I was in high school and they came on
Yeah.
tour to Anchorage, Alaska. I had heard some what was that, the movie with the a cappella stuff? It was
What,
kind of
Pitch
cheesy.
Perfect?
Yeah, Pitch Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know, I thought beatboxing was kind of like, okay,
It,
cool. You're a beatbox, really? And since meeting Richie, I have grown to understand not only how impressive beatboxing is, but also to see other beatboxers along with Richie, to see Richie in action beatboxing for audiences of thousands that aren't a cappella fans, and blowing people away. Anyway, it's a really impressive art form. And when COVID happened, Richie decided that he was going to write and record not only an original song, and he would record the whole thing. I believe you did all of them a cappella, correct? Like you
yep,
sang all the harmonies, all the melodies, all the beatboxing, all the
yep,
percussion.
yeah.
But he also decided that he was going to make high quality music videos of every single one of them and release them weekly. How
Yeah.
many did you do altogether?
It was one every week for a year, so 52.
So 52, guys. This man pushed out 52 songs every week during COVID. I think that is a remarkable achievement. And that's one of these things that I think must be weird as a musician to have done something, not as a musician, as a human being, to have achieved something like that, to have accomplished something like that, and to have it kind of, I don't know, just like, okay, COVID's over and those songs are out. The songs are
Yeah.
out there, and that's what's important. You know what I mean? Like Richie's every single song that he wrote, you can find, just so everyone knows, you can find the videos on YouTube. He's got playlists of all of them. You can find his songs on Spotify. They're all really interesting and different. They all have totally different vibes, totally different moods. Um, it's just something really amazing, and I just want you to know I tip my hat to you, sir. Like it's so amazing what you did, Richie. And I just want to honor that a little because I know that that's not something that turned into, like your viral moment or whatever. I don't think it did. Did you have any songs go viral during that?
No, nothing really
Yeah.
blew up or anything.
Well, it
But
should have. What's good should have frickin' blown up. So what's good is just it's like, come on over and tell me what's good. It's a really catchy kind of retro song. Richie's got this real you know, like soul singing Sam Cooke kind of vocal vibe going
wow.
on, and some really good riffs. I just love it. It's a great song. So that's my number one song for
Okay.
this week.
I don't know what to say. I really appreciate that. I don't
Okay,
know
now
if I could.
don't make it awkward, Richie.
uh, no, I won't make it awkward. But I thank you. It was a venture. I remember I got to like song 3 in that journey, and I was like, where the hell am I supposed to stop? Like I can't stop at 10. Feels like I gave up, and I can't stop at
Yeah,
like 7 months. That'd be ridiculous. That wouldn't be
yeah.
even. So
So
it
you
was
just
a
kept
year.
going.
Kept
There's
going.
some other good ones I recommend for anyone listening. He's got one called Tarzan that's got a really great
Yeah.
music video. He did that whole thing stop motion. Like, what? Who is this person? And then there's another one, Psycho Navigator, right? That's another one of the ones I've told you I really like. There's a bunch of really, really good tunes, but I think What's Good has endured in my life as a song that I like. Whenever it comes up on my playlist, I fully listen and sing along. And I will say, as a musician, last thing I'll say about this song, as a musician, we all want to support our friends, and we're all amazed by what our friends are doing as musicians. It's exciting when you have a friend who has a song that you really just want to listen to all the time, not just to like be supportive, but to actually just chill and listen to. So, okay. Enough of me being nice to you. No, I'm just kidding.
No more. I
That's
get
my
one
Richie
dose of
song.
nice. Thank you, Kate. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to perform any of those? I guess, how would you perform that live? You'd have to get a group.
I haven't. I did one thing where I did like a live looping version of stuff.
Right.
And that was it was this very strange live, not live New Year's Eve thing that it was like, they were like, it's in Times Square. I was like, cool. Like, actually? And they're like, no, it's just a video of Times Square. I was like, this, okay. Yeah, here's me doing this thing. I've always dreamed of getting a choir together to do some of these so that like I could perform them. Or I would pay a group to do one just to like commission them to perform one of my songs.
You're in LA now. You've probably got a lot of those connections there.
Yeah, there's plenty of that. There's a lot of, the a cappella world is small enough, right? I have some friends that I think I could probably reach out to, but just one of those things.
Yeah.
As soon as I make enough money from this podcast, then I'll commission a group to do it. How's that?
Yeah.
So
I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the Richie song.
We can talk about me as much as you want. That's
I got to move through. I took 14 songs this week because you gave me a hard time about my 9 last week.
Oh, you had to make up for it. Okay.
Well, actually, no. This is just me back to my old ways, back to my usual nature. The second song also is. I'm really amazed by this. I have absolutely no idea how this song ended up on the master list on my big playlist, but it did, and I've loved it. And every time the song comes on, I'm just like, oh, what a beautiful voice and it's just a beautiful song. And as I was looking it up, I was telling Richie, like, now we have this podcast, and so a lot of songs that I've just loved for a long time, sometimes now I'll be like, oh, I actually don't know who this person is. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Gurumul, I think? I don't know. And when I looked it up, I found out all this interesting information about this. So this is an artist who is an indigenous Aboriginal Australian artist. Gurumul is the name that he goes by, if I'm saying that correctly. He is, I believe, no longer with us. He was I don't know how you pronounce this, Yolnu Aboriginal Australian musician. So he was famous for singing in indigenous languages, none of which I have any idea how to pronounce. We've got, YOL, and then there's an N that has looks like a J on it. Do you know this symbol, Richie?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm trying to look it up to see which one you're talking about.
I'm just going to put this out here. I've never been to Australia. I don't know anything about the Aboriginal languages of Australia. But I will say that there are at least 3, maybe 4 languages that I'm seeing in here that he sings his music in. And I'm quite sure that this song is in one of those languages. And I would love to, now that I know this, I want to learn more about it. I'm so fascinated. He's sold 500,000 records globally. He performed for Queen Elizabeth and Barack Obama and all this stuff. He's apparently another one of these musicians that I just kind of discovered on my playlist. It turns out he's legendary where he's from or in this, and I can't even say in this niche because he performed for these major heads of state around the world. And I want to acknowledge my ignorance of this because I think it's really important for all of us to remember that there are so many legendary, amazing musicians out there, and we're going to be ignorant of some of them. And I think feeling like we have to be in the know about everything is just, it's too much. It's too much for a human being to bear with the amount of music and amazing stuff that's out there. But so it's a beautiful song. I hope you enjoy it. I think you will. And I just find it really interesting getting to hear music that's written in indigenous languages because so many of them are, at risk of being, lost to time and colonialism and all of these things. And I think also there's just something that's so beautiful. It's like this treasure. It's like this mark of a place in the world that most of us, don't have that much knowledge or understanding of, that for them is, okay, quick thing. Do you ever think about what it's like to dream in another language? Like people who are bilingual will say that they'll have dreams in other languages. I just think that's so amazing to think about. So much of our identities is wrapped up in the language that we use. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway.
And Aboriginal song and Indigenous song in Australia is there's a lot of like oral tradition that is carried on through song. It's a really deep part of this culture, which is I think one of the oldest living cultures on the planet
Wow.
right now. Like the different peoples across that whole continent there. I think what I love about that is it's not this like American Idol version of music. It's just like you sing to tell the story. You sing to talk to your kids about how the serpent crossed the sky, and that's how this is how the seas and the lands were formed, and it's not it's not like, oh, you're good at singing, so you should do it, but I'm not gonna
Right.
do it at all. It's like, no, you just sing because this is a better way to remember things and be a community. So that's cool. Thanks
I
for
love
including that.
that. Yeah, thank you for sharing what you just shared. It is funny. You think about even our ancestors back in the day, they would also just gather around a piano and sing. It
Yeah,
was like singing has been such a part of our collective cultural heritage since the beginning of time. And now we've, of course, commodified and
I
changed
know.
everything. But
Yeah,
anyway.
that's it.
Oh, actually, on that note, so this next song really surprised me. I think I was talking about Idris Elba recently with someone because I had seen a show on Apple TV that he's on that is, fine. Idris Elba's amazing. The show was fine. And I was kind of complaining about it, like, what a waste of Idris Elba. And then I recently watched the He-Man movie. In which Idris Elba
He's in
is
it.
one of the characters. He's in
Come
it.
on.
I just thought it was so funny. Like, all right, get your paycheck, Idris.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think he's
Range.
a really, really great actor and just seems like a really nice person. And so because I've been talking about him, this video popped up on my Instagram that he's rapping on this song and he's actually like really good. I thought he was really good. I'm not a rap expert, but and I really enjoyed the song. I thought it was fun. I really like it. Speaking of people venturing outside of their disciplines, like we were talking about in the very beginning of this podcast, but also speaking of just music and singing and spoken word and all of that being more a part of just like everybody does it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing that side of him.
Well, I saw Idris Elba on there, and I thought, oh, here's another show tune. Kate's gonna have
No,
some
it's
theater on
definitely not
there.
a show tune. Although there is a show tune I wanted to
I'm
put
not.
on this playlist, but I didn't have space.
No shade. Show tunes are lovely. I enjoy singing them. They're fun.
Uh-huh. All right. Shade.
No shade.
Shade has been
Unshade. Sun.
assumed.
It is. Yeah, noon on noon on the equinox in Hawaii. There is no shade.
God, nerd.
I
Okay,
know.
next song. The next song is Too Much by Jacob Banks. I talked about Jacob Banks already. I just think he's wonderful. He's kind of like Sam Henshaw to me. Every song I hear by Jacob Banks, I'm like, oh, that's good. All right, that's good too.
Mm.
That's good too. He's just a really good singer, and I really like his songwriting and really like his vibe. This song was just sent to me recently by my friend Swati, who you know.
Oh,
And
Swati.
yeah, Swati's back in India right now, but Swati's one of my best friends, and we were talking about how my whole life I have always been kind of, you know, told I was too much, like as per our previous
Yeah.
discussion. Everyone says, "Oh, Kate, you're so intense, like it's so much all the time." And that really gets to you after a while. Like I've not let it change who I am. Like I will still be me, and um I've definitely felt embarrassed and ashamed and sad. And it comes up a lot of times in new friendships and new relationships. It'll come up of me being worried, that I'm talking about regenerative economics in my
You're
spare
like, can
time.
we just please sit here in peace?
But what about systems thinking? But yeah, so I was telling her how I was kind of freaking out about feeling like I've been living in foreign countries for a long time where when you're trying to communicate across other languages, that changes the way that you communicate. It changes the way that you speak. It changes the way that you hold yourself. I found it very interesting observing myself in different countries and cultures and languages and how I think a lot of people thought I was quieter or more formal or less intense than I am because I didn't know how to say all the stuff I talk about as
Yeah.
clearly when I was trying to be really aware of language and communication. So anyway, I've been feeling a lot lately like, oh God, here I go again. Like this is going to be too much. And Swati the other day just sent me this song, and it just made me, to be honest, I cried. Like, I just felt very like, what a
Oh,
beautiful statement of love. It's a beautiful song. It's a love song, but he's expressing what you can probably imagine he's expressing in the song. And yes, that is there for that reason. So thank you, Swati. I love you, Swati. Um, Peace, Peace is just one of my favorite songs by Bill Evans, the great jazz pianist Bill Evans. I hope everybody knows Evans. He went to my music school, Mannes College of Music. Bill
whoa!
Evans went to Mannes College of Music.
All right.
Um, and he's one of my favorite jazz pianists. I think he just has a tone and uh, like a gravitas to his playing that's always really affected me, even when he's playing upbeat, fun stuff.
Hmm.
So I wanted to throw this in because every time I hear this song, it just kind of makes me feel like this, zoom,
Hmm.
like everything's just. It's called Peace, Peace, but it's very evocative of that. It's so beautiful, and it's just it's a beautiful song to just sit and like really be present and enjoy.
Hmm.
So that's that.
That I think
Go
that's
ahead.
remarkable when an instrument can take on a tone because one person is playing it, and I
Mm,
think you hear that sometimes about you know legendary bass players or piano players or it's not even their voice, but the way that they play it, it takes on this hard to describe. Like they're playing the same notes, maybe you play exactly the same notes, but there's a sound to it and a feel to it and an emotion to it, and yeah, like that is. I think that's like a spectacular uh, evolution. Like the final
hmm
phase, it's like the final Pokemon that you get to
Yeah.
is like you're still playing the same notes, the same rhythms, and everything, and the same song, same time. Everything's the same, but then you become the instrument. You become like your spirit goes through
hmm
these strings and the keys that are just a machine. Otherwise, it's a remarkable thing, I think, to achieve as an artist, and I can't wait to listen to this.
I love that you said that. I agree. I think for me, it took a long time to be able to hear the differences of different pianists in particular. Violin, it's pretty easy to hear the difference. Guitar, it's pretty easy to hear the difference. Everyone has a different, their hands affect it differently. But piano, it took me a while to understand. And I have a lot of really close friends who are pianists. Love the piano. It's one of probably my favorite instruments. And once you can start to hear people's personalities in the piano, it's like magic. I agree with you. And I
Mm.
think there really is we had Richie and I had a bit of a beer-addled fight many years ago about if performing is creative and if
No,
production
producing,
is creative.
production, yeah.
Well, both. We went to both. I do think that performing is creative, and I think that especially when it comes to the art of using instruments, any instrument, and it doesn't matter really whether it's electric or acoustic, because you hear Brian May play the electric guitar, and it's totally different than hearing Jimi Hendrix play the electric
Oh, they're on the
guitar.
list, yeah.
I agree with you. It's a really really special thing. Music is incredible, and humans are amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving down, the next song is a Rajasthani song
Mm.
that I just really enjoy. The singer Seema Mishra is like they call her the Lata Mangeshkar of Rajasthan. Lata Mangeshkar is one of the most famous Bollywood singers of all time. I love her very much. She's a
Is
beautiful
she
singer.
is she the Whitney Houston of Bollywood?
Yeah, kind of, kind
Okay.
of. And so then Seema Mishra would be the Whitney Houston of
Of
Rajasthan.
Bollywood of Rajasthan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Um I'm trying. I have so much Indian music that I love that's on my playlist. There's so much incredible music that comes out of India. I, obviously have my ties to India, and I've been trying to just slowly like infuse the Indian content into my playlists. And this is one that I just enjoy because uh, a lot of people know, even if they don't realize they know, they kind of know the Bollywood sound. There's
Mm.
like a particular kind of rhythm and vocal style and instrumental arrangement that you hear out of, Bollywood music. And so it's kind of cool to hear the music out of Rajasthan. Rajasthan is a desert area in India. It's where Jaipur, Udaipur, Jodhpur, all of these and you've seen a lot of pictures of these places that have the beautiful old palaces.
Hmm.
It's this very magical place. I rode a camel there with Swati, actually, my friend who
What?
sent me too much. Swati and I rode a camel in Rajasthan. That was fun. We got to see
One hump or two
Harpreet.
hump?
Uh,
I don't know.
That's a great question. I think it
Is that
was
a
one
real
hump.
question?
I think it was
Where
one.
do you
It was
sit
one
on
hump.
a
It was one hump.
one-humped camel? Do you sit on the
They
hump or
put
do
it.
you
If I
hold it?
no. I think the hump is behind you. If I remember, I think the hump is behind you. I gotta look at the picture.
I
I
know
gotta look at
you'd
the
sit on a
picture.
two-humper, but anyway, all right,
It's really
sorry.
funny getting up on the camel. Like when the camel goes down and gets up, because they have these really long legs. And so they tilt like at this very extreme angle to go down. And it's kind of terrifying as you have to like hold on as you're like on this roller coaster ride getting up. It was really cool. It was really cool to like, and riding a camel in India, it's not, there isn't as much protection as you would maybe hope for or think that you were going to have. And so I really enjoyed the experience of just like, just a little bit of danger maybe, but probably not any danger, but it still feels like danger because you don't have,
Yeah. Well, you're up on a 10-foot animal that is like awkwardly
yeah,
walking like
it's just
the
you and this camel,
ants or
and
whatever.
yeah, it was a very interesting experience. Anyway, that's my song from Rajasthan. Okay, I don't remember if we've talked about this, but Radiohead is probably next to Queen, like one of my favorite bands of all time. And I know that for a lot of people, at least, especially in my generation, especially from the West, I think that a lot of people feel that way about Radiohead. They're a tremendous inspiration. All of their music has affected me in so many different ways. Some of it's that dark music you listen to when you're having a hard day. Some of it's the music you listen to when you're. I remember there was a Radiohead album, this song "Morning Bell" that I would listen to when I was walking through Grand Central Station when I lived in New York, and like the rhythm of it like really fueled this particular time in my life. And then of course Every Window's Creep. Like they have so many just incredible legacy level songs. And the whole band is amazing, from Johnny Greenwood to Tom York. Like it's not just one guy that like carries the band. They're all just such incredible musicians. Separator is this song by them. It's from The King of Limbs, and I don't know, I find it kind of a positive song.
Okay.
There's a line in it where he says, "Finally free of all the weight I've been carrying."
Mm.
And yeah, I think it's a beautiful song. So I just wanted to put it on because I don't think I'd put on Radiohead yet, which seems insane. We were talking last week about putting on some of the songs of groups that like people do know, and just being like, yeah, I really, really love this song and I really love this group. So that's
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, there's so much music out there. Anyways, we watched High Fidelity the other night, and it was like, oh yeah,
Oh.
you could put something on from a very famous group that nobody's ever listened to, anyways, and it's still. You don't have to always have the deep cuts, but
Yeah.
I do feel a hesitation to like, should I put Creep on here because everybody knows
Right.
that one. It's not like
Right.
I'm breaking any
Right.
any algorithms that way. But yeah, it's nice to hear too. Like Radiohead has a lot of like kind of deep or heavier topics, and to say like what was the line that they've finally felt the weight lift or something, like
Finally
have
free of all the weight I've been carrying.
free of all the weight I've been carrying. That sort of topic is like, oh, okay. When Radiohead finally got there, like they went through enough therapy.
That's something I love about them is all of their songs are like many colors. It's there's like a little bit of
Definitely
darkness and a
agree with
little
that.
bit of light, and yeah, I really, really respect Radiohead.
All right.
Okay, the next song is Costa Rica by Daniela Spala. So she's an Argentinian based in Mexico City singing a song about Costa Rica.
Okay.
I love it.
Right.
It's just a really positive song. I just think it's beautiful. I again don't actually know if the lyrics are positive, but there's a really sunny vibe to it, and every time I hear it, I just like it. So I just put it on because I
Yeah.
like it.
Great.
Tamale Mak is a pretty well-known song that many different musicians have covered. I think it might originally be an Amr Diab song. I should look that up. Anyway, I heard this version of it recently. No idea how, but it popped up, and I love acoustic versions of songs, and I really enjoyed this particular version. And what was cool was when I looked it up, she is an Uzbek singer, Aziza
Oh,
Kobilova. She's from Uzbekistan, which I just enjoy on
I
so many
love
different
Uzbekistan.
levels. You've been to Uzbekistan, right?
I have. Yes. Yeah. Really remarkable place. Like Samarkand is there, which is just this ancient like trading city, and it's also like full of culture and food, and it's
Ooh, the
as
Uzbek plov.
the plov in Uzbekistan. Let me tell you.
Uh,
Yeah,
friends in
but it's like
Turkmenistan will be
because it was
mad.
on this ancient trading route, like there's so much culture that like came through Uzbekistan and then left and traded, and so it's got really cool depth to like everything that they do. Anyway,
Yeah. I feel like with all the Uzbek people that I've met, also have just I've really enjoyed their personalities. Not to like generalize an entire country based on the few
yeah,
musicians that I've met from Uzbekistan, but I love Central Asia. I There's something about Central Asia that it's kind of seems relatively under discovered by other parts. You don't hear people talking as much about, Central Asia as you hear them talking
of
about,
course, yeah,
the usual tourist destinations. But Central Asia has this just the Silk Road history is so cool. And even beyond the Silk Road history, learning about the ancient history in all of these places and the current history and the cultures out there. I really developed a deep love from Central Asia from our work that we've done out in that part of the
and
world. So, yeah.
I say of course not to like disparage it, but they were kind of behind the Iron Curtain for a long time. So these like former Soviet countries, we like the West just never had access to outside
Right.
of like you knew Moscow and St. Petersburg, but beyond that, nobody until like 91 really was even allowed to see those
To go
places.
there.
So
Yeah. Well, no, I'm glad that you reminded me
I,
of that because I actually
no,
hadn't
I had to like
thought about
clarify
that.
that in my head because I was like, of
Yeah.
course nobody knows about these places. There's but no, it's because
History has made it
there's
so.
history
Yeah.
there.
I just checked it up. I'm very proud of myself. I was right that Tamale Mak is originally written by Amr Diab. I'm so proud that I just knew that off the top of my head. Amr Diab, I'm going to have to put him on a future playlist. He's a very famous, like the the Whitney Houston famous. No, he's
It's the
like the
Whitney Houston.
Sting famous.
It was like,
He's a extremely famous singer from Egypt, extremely famous.
oh, cool.
And I do like Tamale Mak. I like his version, but it's cool to get to hear all of the other versions from his music. So, yay. Good job, Kate. Pat on the back.
Well done. You got
Egyptian
it.
friends, be proud of me. The next song is by Esperanza Spalding, who you had
Dang.
recognized. She is one of my favorite contemporary jazz singers. When we were talking about Cecile McLaurin Savant, and I was talking smack about contemporary scat singing in jazz and how I find it a little bit like skabada-ba-ba-da. Esperanza Spalding is amazing. She doesn't scat sing in Thang, in the song that I chose, but I will tell people her scat singing, if you go out and listen to more Esperanza Spalding, she will like impersonate instruments on a level that evokes a bit of Ella to me. And anyone who knows me knows that Ella's like one of my queens of all time. She's wildly famous in the jazz community. And apparently I've heard she's also a really really wonderful, honest, humble, giving, good person, just from what I've heard. So I don't know her personally, but I'm a big fan. So Thang, I just think is like a really sexy song.
Okay.
And
I like how it's like hips. Just to,
yeah,
just to let you know, this is about hips.
yeah, and you can tell when you hear the song. It's fun. I like we talked about this a while back with I think other jazz songs actually, but I think it's fun when you hear kind of sexy music in a way that's still elegant and it's jazz. It's not like I wanna lick you from your head to your toes. It's
No,
like
but it's like
it's like
that
sexy in a
thing
sensual
be
good way.
thangin' boom ba-doom. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's not that
it's not
either.
that. Okay, all right.
That thing be thangin'.
The thing be
Please
thangin'.
write that song. Make that your
But
53rd
it's yeah,
53rd. Yeah.
it's my follow up to Psycho Navigator.
Thing be thangin'.
The thing be thangin'. Hips.
Elbows.
Sorry, Esperanza, Miss Spalding, if I've sullied your song by talking about it like that. I gotta listen to it. I'm curious.
Yeah,
You
listen to it. I think you'll like it.
you don't name a song "Thang" without thinking about that.
Jazz has there's such a range of musicians and styles within the genre of jazz. Esperanza Spalding is gorgeous and classy and elegant, and there is definitely a more contemporary hip vibe
Cool.
with her stuff. Yeah, check it out. I think you'll like it. Two Steps Closer is just a new country song that I heard on the radio. Turns out these artists are all from Texas. Chaparral, I think, is the name of the group. And I just really enjoyed the song. It's called alt country, which Richie and I were like, what does that mean? It doesn't feel like like country, but you can hear the country influences in it. It really sounds like a lot of the kind of, country music that I hear in Austin, which Austin is a little bit more of like an indie rock kind of town. And so then when you hear country filtered through that, we were talking last week about the beauty of different cultures and different styles and stuff kind of merging together. And I hear that a little bit in this song. It's like somewhere in between indie pop and country music to me when I listen to it. Maybe that's what alt country is. I don't know. So that's that.
Cool. I love it.
Okay.
I'm curious. I'm so curious what alt country means.
Me too.
I still have no idea. Maybe it's just like you don't put on the twang. You're like from Rochester, but somehow
Yeah,
you
you're
have
from
a twang.
Austin.
You're like,
Well, it is interesting because living down here now, I had a lot of preconceived notions about, the South and what I thought the South was. Well, in America,
yeah,
when you're not
yeah,
from the South, oftentimes you think of it as kind of like down, down south, and there's of just like everything else, just like the world of
of
jazz
course.
and, Central Asia, there's like so many different kinds of people and so many different styles. And it's kind of cool to come down here and see the difference from the culture in New Orleans to the culture in Dallas to the culture in Austin to the culture in, St. Louis, Missouri or whatever. It's all just so, or, Florida and Georgia, they're so different. And this song sounds a little bit more like city Texas, less like, honky tonk.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I like Texas. Obviously, is maybe like one of the most southern states. Maybe is. I don't know if Florida is like technically souther.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, it's like
I'm a
just about as
northerner.
south as it gets. But I don't think of Texas as the South. I feel like the South is the Southeast.
Right, Texas is
And
just Texas.
Texas is just Texas, yeah. Which I don't think of Texas as the South, even though maybe I should. I don't know. Just like geographically it is, but culturally,
Yeah.
I don't put it in the same boat as like Georgia.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a great point. And it's funny, like I don't disagree with it. Did you know I'm from Alaska?
There it is. Every
No,
podcast in
it came out
Alaska reference.
earlier. It came out earlier. I
Oh,
was
I
waiting
missed
for
it.
you to give
I
me
was
a hard
just so
time.
used to it. Yeah. Okay.
I know.
Anyway.
Well, no, but I mean being from like the absolute far north, kind of everything south is
Everything's
south.
south of Anchorage, basically.
Not that we would call Colorado the South, but kind of everything that's in the southern part of the United States, I always just assumed was the South.
Yeah,
But
us contiguous
anyway,
folk.
I'm going to move forward so we can get to Richie's list. So Otoro, Orange Street, I discovered when I was visiting Hawaii a couple years ago. Hawaii is such a cool place with so many amazing musicians and so much amazing culture that goes so far beyond, hula is beautiful and incredible, but so many tourists go to Hawaii and they see hula, and that's kind of like their taste of Polynesian culture. And there's so much more and so much cool stuff going on in Hawaii, and I really enjoyed getting to learn more about some of the local Hawaiian musicians when I was there, because it's interesting to go to Hawaii and see just so much of the tourism infrastructure built in a way that it's like when you go to. I've had a lot of amazing trips to Mexico, and I love Mexico. It is such a diverse, rich, culturally fascinating, complex place. I love it. And there was one day when I was in Mexico that I went to Cancun and saw a Senor Frogs on the beach. Yeah, you're with me. And it was like, really?
Wow,
Like,
wow.
you're going to fly all the way to Mexico to go to a Senor
Go to
Frogs
Senor
that you could
Frogs.
go to at the mall in, Nebraska or something,
Yeah.
and have like, a plastic hurricane cup or whatever with like frozen margarita,
Yeah.
You're in Mexico. Have the real thing.
Senor Frog. That reminds me
Anyway,
of
let's
Bali and maybe like
Yeah.
Majorca, where it's like
Yeah.
Majorca is Spain, but it's Germany's like
Right.
destination. Bali is where all the Australians
Right.
go. It's basically like traveling to another Australian city.
Right. Right.
Um,
And I think that was the thing. So in Hawaii, I know that this is also a point of really extreme tension for people in Hawaii, where they're like,
yeah,
like,
this was my
yeah, like
Yeah.
we don't want this. And it's just interesting. I hope that Hawaiian culture gets to, thrive and flourish in its own right, not
Yeah.
as like just a tourist destination. So
There's a curious line there where you're like, you want to go visit these places of the world because you want to experience the cultures, but then you become the tourist that is like overcrowding the streets. It's a weird problem to navigate, but I, I think you can draw
yeah,
the line at Senior Frogs.
I think maybe it all comes down to culture.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
like
Thailand. It,
cultural appreciation versus appropriation, and you've got some
yeah.
outsider moving to Hawaii and building some, BS approximation of Polynesian culture that the tourists go to so that they can get their scorpion bowls or whatever. Um, that's not that's not appreciating and celebrating the culture of the place you're going. That's just kind of enjoying this like optimized
Yeah.
reduction
Yeah.
in the area. It's kind of strange, but
It is. You're just
you were
getting
going to
the
say
nice
something. I
weather.
talked over you.
Uh, no, I was just gonna reference Thailand. Like I remember we went like right after the typhoon had hit there, and it was like the whole city that we went to was kind of devastated, but they were rebuilding and trying to like regain all this tourism, and so like it's the money that comes in from tourists re-supports the rebuilding of that, but
Right,
I don't
right.
know. But you're right. Like
That's
if you
interesting. Yeah.
if I went out there and I was like demanding a McDonald's and Starbucks, I'd be like, why did you even come here? Was it
Yeah,
just to
what's the
have like
point?
a humid beach to go to instead of Colorado's
Yeah.
mountains? Like, is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it? Is that all you really was? Just a weather change
Well,
and
and
all
all
of your
these
creature
giant
comforts?
right. All these giant like chains now that have kind of seeped into everything and everywhere. It's like you can go to
Yeah.
any major place and find the same Zara and Starbucks and, find those same stores
Yeah.
literally anywhere in the world. And it's such a bummer. I hope
Yeah.
that changes. Anyway, O Toro, this song, Orange Street, I love it. It has these strings that are evocative of, actually, to me, it's evocative of exotica music, which I haven't brought on yet because that's a
Mm.
long, complicated conversation. It's something worth talking about in a serious fashion. For those of you who don't know exotica music, it's music from just after World War II, where these musicians were taking string orchestras and writing music that was kind of inspired by their idea of the Far East, which uh, was just close-minded and a lot of stereotypes of what the culture must be like out there.
Mm.
Anyway, they take a sample of these strings that kind of reminds me of that music, and then they set it to a hip hop beat, and it's just cool. It's a cool vibe, and it felt very. When I was walking down the streets in Hawaii, being like, "This is so weird." There's like all of this really cool stuff and really like strange tourist stuff, and it was just cool. So
Cool.
that's Orange Street by Otoro. And then the last two I'll be quick with. I would imagine everybody knows Cypress Hill. This is one of my recent favorite Cypress Hill tunes. I just like it. I like it's funky.
I feel like the word funk is the most commonly intentionally misspelled word in music.
And then the last song, we had talked about Jimi Hendrix last week, and I was just blown away that Jimi Hendrix is such a legend that, we haven't really brought him up yet, along with many other legends of, the United States and the West.
Mhm.
I think he deserves being brought up because he's so seminal and iconic and has made such a widespread impact in guitar music and rock in everything. Like he's
Mhm.
such a big deal. And Bold as Love is, I think, actually my favorite Jimi Hendrix tune. I just think the lyrics are really cool. I think that it's a very poetic lyrical song, and I love the way he sings it, and it's just a great tune.
Yeah. I love
Do
Jimi
you know that song?
Hendrix. I do, and I would. There was a. It remind not this song in particular, but it reminds me of. There's a recording of him playing the national anthem, which I don't know why
Oh God.
I don't know why he's like so he wore the American flag and it was like he played the anthem a lot on guitar um and there was like he missed the note and it was the note during the line the flag is still there and the flag was still there or anyway you know the melody
Yeah, yeah.
and you can hear him on the mic like he kind of stops for a second and he goes flag was still there big deal and then goes back into like he played the wrong note but then was like who cares? Like
Big
it was,
deal.
yeah. I was like, that's even better. You missed the note, but you sounded so cool saying that. But
Yeah,
anyway,
what a guy.
yeah,
That's my
cool,
list. I have
great
on my
list.
list this week. That's a good week.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like I say that every week.
I was gonna say you just said, but I appreciate that. At least you don't like throw it up there like, I hate this list. It's whatever. All right, that's the
All
end of
right.
your list. Get out of here.
Richie's list. Richie's list.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for that, Kate. Thank you for putting my
Yeah.
song on your list.
I love your song.
I'm
And I'm proud to be your
truly
friend.
honored. Ah, thank you. Likewise. Likewise is such a lame thing to say too when somebody gives you a compliment. I've started to just say like thank you because I feel like if I just return the compliment, it's like
I know, but it's funny because this happens with us all the time. I'll be like, Richie, you're such a good friend or whatever. And Richie will be like, thank you. And I'll be like, oh, okay. So I guess this is a one-sided friendship. And then Richie will always say like, oh, I don't want to just say it because you said it.
right.
It's like, yeah, but if you're not one of those people who's like volunteering effusive emotional content all the time, you're allowed to just
Use of emotion.
piggyback off of me.
Yep.
Richie's list. Richie's list.
Richie's list. Here we go. I am proud to share my week 10 list right now.
Woo! Oh, see, this week it's shorter than mine. Perfect.
I've tried to be consistently around 10 to 12.
Well, I'm too much.
Yeah. Yeah, we covered that. We know. So I'll preface this.
Cool.
Unless you have
I don't
any
know
immediate-
of this. Well, I know Coldplay.
Yeah, you
Otherwise,
know
I know
Coldplay.
nothing on your list.
But I bet you don't know that Coldplay song. This week, right now, in the United States of America, for a lot of kids, is back to school week. And my sister shared this picture of her 4 kids, 3 of whom are going back to their grade school. And like, I think as a parent, you're going through a little bit of like a melancholy and like a longing kind of week where you're watching your kids grow up and go out into the real world. And I think for one reason or another, that I think that's impacted my list a little bit this week, just because I don't have kids, but I'm sort of like feeling that through my sister, like emotion by proxy. But there's some stuff that's like a little like more emotional and thoughtful than I would normally throw in there. But I've also
feel lost in lowercase letters.
yeah. Well, that one is probably like one of the biggest songs on there, oddly. But I've tried to sparkle it up with a couple of pieces in there that blast through any sort of like overwhelming melancholy. And I'm starting
Wait, is
this
this
week
the Willy
out for
Wonka
something
tune?
else. It is the Willy Wonka tune, which I'm sure you've heard
Aw.
before. But this
Yeah,
version
I
of
love
it
that song.
is a cappella.
Okay, sorry.
No. I could just go top to bottom, but I kind of like going where your eyes go first. So,
I mean, yeah, then that song, Come With Me and We'll Be.
Yep. You got it. That's the one. And
So-
this, like I said, it's a cappella. It's old. This is an old recording, like before auto-tune. So it's not like perfect, which everything is now.
Yay.
But I like it. And it has a lot of character. And I remember hearing this, and this was like one of the songs that made me want to do a cappella music.
Cool.
Vox One is, they're from a while ago now. It's kind of straightforward, but it's just so nice. And the recording itself, like, I think now, like, you can buy these, very nice microphones and record in ultra fidelity. You can fix anything and maneuver every little digit of how you're recording. But there's something about this that's like a little bit kind of like overdriven, a little bit, I don't want to say crackly, but it's like, it's not just so clean and glistening that a lot of a cappella music produced now is. It's just, it feels kind of raw and it feels really human. So I really like this version.
I'm
So
excited to hear it.
Listen to it. And anytime I see the cover, it's like a Picasso like ish painting that they have in there. I don't know exactly who did it. Maybe they did it, but from afar it looks like a banana. And that's how
It does look like a banana.
but it's not a banana. I'll go up from there. So Beatbox Show is actually a beatboxer from Bangladesh, but there's no beatboxing in the song. He got into kind of live looping and playing instruments. And if you've ever seen an Ed Sheeran show now, it's just him, and he kind of sings a line and plays his guitar, and then it loops over and over. And that's what he's got going on here. So it's a very sweet and lovely song, not something you would expect from a beatboxer, especially somebody that we met at a hip hop program out in Bangladesh. But it's nice. It's a really nice song, and I listened to it. I was like, oh, that's you. You did this. His name is Beatbox Show, and he's doing this like very sweet, like lovely, thoughtful song. And
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so it's very nice. I'll go up from there. Para Caminar that's definitely more aggressive and fun and kind of hip hop. It's Afro-Colombian is probably the best way to describe it. Cynthia
Cool.
Montano is this like force of nature. She's like the kind of person that when she stands up in the room and starts talking, everybody shuts up. Even if
Mm.
you've never met her, she just has this kind of presence where it's like, oh, okay, Cynthia's talking now. A really cool voice, and the way she raps is really intense but thoughtful. And Colombia right now, they just had an earthquake, so I really wanted to like include somebody from Colombia to just like, hey, like say we're thinking of you from somewhere else. She is okay with, like, we've been texting with our like little Colombia group, and she's doing okay. But yeah, it's a really cool song, and it gets in your head. That was my start to the list. I'm like, we're gonna start this on a on a on a fun note. So
Ooh, I'm excited.
as soon as you hear that, you're in. And then I had to break up my pure imagination with my like jazz middle section there with Bazooka. The what is GWSN is they are a Korean group. Girls in the Park is like another way to say their group name. I like the way they say, "Oh, Bazooka." It's like, it's so fun, and every time they say it in the song, you're like, "Oh, that was fun." I like that.
Is this
Um,
K-pop?
it's K-pop, yeah.
That's something I feel like we got to get a guest on soon. That's like somehow. Do you know anyone who's like involved in the K-pop scene?
I do. He's probably way too famous to.
That's my problem.
to
That's
do
my
a,
problem.
yeah.
I know one of the songwriters for BTS, and I'm like, maybe he would do it, but I don't know that he'd want to be on our podcast. Dang, we know our friends are too famous.
Yeah.
I feel like K-pop is like one of the genres that I just know very, very, very little about. So I'm excited to hear Bazooka because, like, honestly, that would be. I'm shamefully ignorant to most K-pop.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You said ignorant before about knowing some artists that are huge in other places. I think
Yeah.
that's fine. Like, we with AI and Google and everything, like, we have all of the knowledge of everything ever at our fingertips, but knowing that stuff is impossible. And I think being a human being, you need to be allowed to not to not know stuff.
Yeah.
and then to be rewarded, maybe is the wrong way to say it, but to hold what you do know in esteem and value. And so that if you know a lot about K-pop, then you are the expert on K-pop, rather than like, oh yeah, we all know a lot about K-pop, so who cares?
Yeah.
K-pop has a lot of sort of sophisticated music behind it. Like, there's a lot of chord changing and a lot of instrument playing that is very high level, but it's kind of presented in this like fun, colorful way that sort of hides the complexity in there. And I think maybe that's why it's so successful. Is it does require a level of musicianship that is like, oh, like these chords are different than I'm used to hearing. That was kind of why I put that in there. It's a nice like transition into jazz music. It's an entry point, if you will.
An entry point. Well done, Richard.
I'm working it into every episode.
That is the name of the podcast.
All right, next song is a jazzy song, and somehow they put the period at the end of the song.
That's Richie's favorite thing.
I was definitely into that. I was like, nothing's capitalized, or
yeah,
no spaces.
I used to write my name in lower case.
Oh, did you?
Just to be super artsy fartsy. When I was younger.
Hey, we all gotta navigate creativity.
We all gotta have our phase.
I don't know why that was the thing, but maybe it's because like we all got online at the same time with our AOL screen names and your MSN or your GeoCities, and that was
what was your AOL screen name?
It was Conscious 3240.
Conscious 3240.
Yeah, I was very conscious about.
He was very awake.
Yeah. Anyway, that was me. So yeah, just a cool jazz song that I like. Jazz is kind of it's too broad of a term for jazz itself. So I hesitate to even say like this is a jazz section, because frankly, the next song is maybe less jazz. I went to Zimbabwe with a jazz group and heard Wyndham Berry had this like hit song that had just come out, and so they brought him over because he was a cool vocalist, and they brought him over to meet the jazz band. And it was interesting because like neither one of them had ever met each other and knew each other, but in their own right they were kind of like a big deal in their own circles. Right. And so it was like watching these people who were like
You
None of
don't
them
know
were like
me. You
divas
don't
or
know me.
anything, but yeah, it was kind of like, oh, it was interesting to like not be recognized or not be seen. And so like when they brought Wendell Berry over to talk to our jazz group, they were like, guys, this is incredible. Wendell Berry's here. He's like, he just had this huge hit blow up. He just did this show. He's gonna do a show later. It's crazy, and he just wants to meet the band. And I was like, all right, like, cool. Yeah, send him over. And he was a nice guy and has a really lovely voice. But it was this moment
Aw.
of like, it was the anti starstruck moment.
This is
Yeah.
such a weird thing to say about this, but it's one of the reasons I used to enjoy watching Dancing with the Stars. And the reason I
Oh.
enjoyed it, it was just so interesting to watch people who were, even if they were B-list celebrities, just to watch celebrities in an environment in which they were kind of vulnerable. Like, they had to learn how to ballroom dance and like, so you'd have these like sports legends like trying to learn how to do the Roomba or something. And I thought it was such a cool experiment of getting to see people who were used to having just gravitas based around, who they were,
Hmm.
seeing them in these situations where, that was kind of thrown upside down. This kind of sounds different but similar, like just, you know,
Yeah.
they're all accustomed to being known by everyone, and then all of a sudden they're just some guys to each other. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That's cool.
refreshing in a way,
Yeah.
and it's really, I don't know, I like it that it's humanizing, and you can just talk a little bit about like, oh yeah, so how did you pick up your music, or what food did you like, or oh, you stubbed
Right.
your toe over there. It's, I don't know,
You
it's
stubbed your toe.
it was,
Everybody stubs their toe.
everybody stubs their toe. Even, yeah, I wake up and put my pants on every day, like anyway.
It's like everybody else.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's Mwindamberi. It reminded me of this next song. He was part of Herbie Hancock's Mwandishi group,
Cool.
and Headhunters. And he was also part of the Bitches Brew recording for Miles Davis. The Quasar is a song from Herbie Hancock's group, but Benny Maupin came in and re-recorded it in his own right, and it's like, it's got this, like, when you think of the 70s and like weird, like spacey cool sounds and the like detective shows that are on, that like Quincy Jones is writing the theme songs for, the entry to this in particular makes me think of that, and it really like transports me to a time that I wasn't even alive yet. But it's like it has these like fun sounds like a quasar. And I
Yeah.
think there was this like obsession with space that was like kind of mid-century that lasted into 70s and 80s. And it reminded me a little bit of my neighbor when we were growing up, the Odies, and Chuck was their dad. He had a computer, and on the computer he had like a screensaver that had like a satellite that would just like rotate in space, and it was so like nerdy and so clearly like early computer generated like look. But it was just, it's such a it's such a vibe, that
Such a
like
vibe.
the 70s 80s space vibe and like orange carpet, and
Yeah. Oh my
uh,
God.
but it's also like, it's not cheesy. It's not just like cheesy like 70s music.
Yeah.
It's like real jazz music, and he is multi-instrumentalist, that he plays a lot of different like wind instruments, flute,
Yeah,
saxophone.
woodwinds.
That's all woodwinds. Okay.
Yeah.
Shows you what I know. Anyway, really cool song.
You said it right.
Okay, good. I second guess myself. I don't want to like,
Yeah.
I don't want some jazz guy to be like, you're an idiot, and
Well,
be right about it.
to a certain degree, once you have a podcast, you probably have to also just accept that that's going to happen
Yeah.
at some point.
That's fair. Well, if you
yeah.
think I'm an idiot, drop it in the comments below and share it with your friends. Tell me why I'm an idiot
We've got
today.
a poll this week.
I'm
Is
confident
Richie an
enough.
idiot? Yes or no?
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
But I do. If you look at the waveform on there, you can see that there's like a little section where
Yeah.
it has a big build, and that's fun.
Is
Like
that
a
the quasar?
That's the quasar.
Yeah. Oh my God, I am so sold on this.
Yeah.
I'm so sold.
I think you're gonna like it, especially as somebody. What's Columbo? You're a big Columbo fan. This might.
You had to bring that onto the podcast. Listen, I have a family tradition with my parents to
Sure.
watch Columbo. I would not call myself, I guess I could be a big Columbo fan, but I mean, it's not like a, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, go back to Columbo. I
Explain
just like
yourself later.
really, did you have to call?
Anyway, check out Quasar. Awesome song. And an awesome version done by somebody from a legendary jazz tradition.
Awesome.
Next song on the list, Eduardo Bennato, Ma che bella città. Yeah. It is this really cool Italian song. It's so fun, and it sits in this era of Italian music that is satirical and mildly political. This whole song is about kind of what we were talking about, how cities are just becoming like homogenized and commercialized and politicized and grayified. You think of Italian cities, you think of the piazza where you go at midnight to get the bomba and you have a coffee and you walk around and people are there and it's the old guys and the kid, like so vibrant. And this song, they're recognizing that these cities centers, and this song is an older song, so this is, unfortunately, this is nothing new. But they're kind of like cheekily saying like, "Wow, what a beautiful city! Ma che bella città" means like, "What a beautiful city," and they're looking at it as like kind of it's a sarcastic remark about the way things are looking.
Ooh.
But yeah. But it's such a fun song, and it's like you listen to it like "Ma che bella città," and it's like it's just a lot of fun. Which like so much Italian music from that era is just like fun and dancey, and it's like funk infused and blues infused, and still has like the Italian traditions in there. It's a really remarkable and unique music bubble.
That's awesome.
Complete departure from that is "I Feel Lost" by Aaron Hibble. I found this. I think I'd seen it on somebody's reel, which I complained about last week. I was like, all the algorithm just leads you in one way or another. But somebody had chosen this song. It's this like big growing synthy glitch house thing that is
fun.
Just have a listen to it. It's an experience. It reminds me a little bit about like if you were to sit in like a space machine and like the lights come shooting by you and you have like 2.5 minutes to sit there and while the 4D chair moves and it's cool. But yeah, he uses this clip of some guy saying "I feel lost" and then it's
wow, great.
Anyway, it's better than that. I know.
Very catchy.
I wowed you all with my a cappella skills. Yeah, why isn't he still touring the world, folks? Yeah. That's it. Yeah. My literal entire career. That's a fun song. The next one is just a beautiful song from Coldplay. It's called "I Am a Mountain," and I don't know why they stylize it like IAAM, but Coldplay is funky and weird. I think something that Coldplay gets a lot of hate for is like they can be a little cheesy and like overly sincere about their emotions, and some of their lyrics can kind of come across as like, I don't know, just obvious, I guess, and too like saccharine. But I freaking love them. I really like Coldplay, and I think I
What's wrong with people? What's saccharine about Coldplay? They're the famous Yellow. Like that's not like the obvious way you would write a love. I don't know. I'd take issue. Anyone out there who's listening to Richie and saying like, yeah, I think Coldplay's cringy, I would like to argue with you. I disagree. I'm not even as big a Coldplay fan as you are, but like, which song of theirs do people call cringy or saccharine?
I think there's a fair amount of their stuff where they kind of lean into the sincerity of what they're feeling.
Good for them.
Yeah, I'm all for it, and I'm not.
I know you are.
I'm not siding with
else.
these haters.
I know you're not. I'm just mad at these people you're talking about.
Yeah. If you'd like to respond to Kate's comments, her email is kate@entrypoint. No, it's like a beautiful song, and it's like "I am a mountain," which is a really like kind of on the nose way to say like a sentiment, and it sounds like a little like self-helpy, and you're looking in the mirror and saying like, you are beautiful, you are successful, you're going to do this today. But like, I feel good listening to that. And there was a moment yesterday when we were doing something else and this song came on, and like the lyrics just hit at the right time. And it's sometimes I miss that about the radio, and I miss that about the way we are now with our music. In a way, like the radio was its own algorithm, is its own algorithm, and they rely on probably the same algorithm that Spotify uses or hell, even OpenAI. But I always felt
Really?
like the radio would gift you. Yeah, if, like iHeartRadio now is completely.
So you're not talking about the radio when humans would DJ and choose the songs they were putting on, because that's not I mean, that's a human algorithm, I
Yeah,
suppose, like in our
that
brain.
to clarify, I think like the algorithm is like there is a station that wants you to play certain records, or there is a DJ that
Oh,
is listening to what they listen to, and they're giving you. We, in a sense, are our own algorithm. It's all filtered through what we think. So
right. You're talking like
I'm
Clear
just
Channel kind of
qualifying.
stuff.
Yeah,
Like
that's
once the radio got, yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah, but but even still, like there's sometimes you'll be driving and you needed a song in that moment, and it comes on, and it's a gift. It's like this gift from the radio universe. And just sometimes there is a song that feels like this was for me, or this hit
Mm.
me at the right moment, and I miss that sometimes. But this song came on the other day, and it was just like it was just the right moment, and it's a beautiful track. And I thought, like, this is a nice way to come off of Aaron Hibbles. I feel lost. It's like
That's
this
awesome.
self-free affirming language.
Yeah.
And then the last one is a full palate cleanser. This is Australian as it gets. There is a lore about this song, Eagle Rock. Be careful if you're in kind of a grungy Australian bar and you request this song. What you're supposed to do when this song comes on is everybody's supposed to take their pants off. And 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 that's about as Australian as it gets. Like it's this like random ass song where it plays and you're supposed to clink clink take your you can leave your drawers on, but the jeans got to come off. Every Australian I talk to would be like, "Yep, that's what it is." Ask an Australian if you play Eagle Rock in the right bar, will people take their pants off? They've all said this is how it works.
I love that the album is called That's Cool.
That's cool, and the
The artist is Daddy Cool.
daddy cool, yeah. So that's that. That is my list for the week. It is. There's some really lovely stuff on here. I think if you have not listened to my lists in a while, or if you haven't gotten all the way through, this one is worth a complete listen. There's some different stuff on here, but I really like all of these songs, and I think it's just a good listen. I think you'll enjoy
I'm
it.
genuinely excited to listen to this list this week. I'm always excited to listen to your lists, but this seems like a really fun one.
Yeah.
I hope people are actually listening to the playlists, because I feel like there's such a wealth that we are that we are just giving people every week. Like we're putting a lot of work into making these playlists and making sure that we post them regularly so that everyone can easily click through and listen. And I know that we're not some like huge viral sensation podcast just yet. I mean, we were for one, but I just it's not there's like not really any ego in this. We're not trying to promote our own music. We're not trying to, make all the bucks or anything. We just want to share good music with people. And
Mhm.
I have to say, every time I put on one of Richie's lists, I always am kind of like, oh, dude, that's what he was talking about. And it's so fun. It's such a fun way to engage with the music. And
Yeah.
I keep asking myself if it's worth us doing that, if it's like, oh, it's too much trouble for people to click on and blah blah blah. And then I just keep feeling like it's got to be worth it, because every time I do it, I get so much value out of this. I get so much value out of the stories, and then having the access to this new, like
Mhm.
the music from our guests too has been so good. So anyway, this was a really fun. We're going to get some more guests on soon, but
Totally.
actually, it's really fun. Just the episode's getting to just hang out and
Yeah.
talk about everything from Brian Johnson to like
Regenerative economics.
Australian taking
Yeah.
pants off and.
Yep. Yep.
But this is what's so great about music. It's not just oh, this is a music podcast, so we're just going to talk about the guitar riffs and the
Right.
and Steve Vai or whatever. Like I don't know. Music is about so much more than just the music. Like the music is so special, and the stories are special, and the people are
Yeah.
special, and the way that we relate to it, and the conversations that it begins are also so important. Like
Yeah.
just talking about music starts all of these interesting conversations that we might not have otherwise. And I hope that people can return to that, because this shouldn't be so unusual. This shouldn't be some like, niche thing. It should be normalized,
Yeah, I
you
agree.
know?
I agree. And yeah, it's an easy lift too. All you got to do is like
Mhm.
just listen to the playlist. We put all of it in the show notes. And then we share it on our Instagram. And so if you go in there and find a song you like, great, share that too. And save the playlist or make your own or send it to us or whatever. But
Yeah. It's
this
so
is
fun to
easy.
hear from people.
It is.
You know, I mean, we're just starting out, so
Yep.
Richie normally does this, but I'm going to say it today. It's really great for us when you like, when you
Yep.
subscribe, when you comment, even if you just send us messages. It helps us know that we're not just recording into the void, and it really helps
Yep.
us get more exposure for the work that we're doing, for the music we're putting out there. It helps get exposure for the artists that we're sharing. A lot of the artists we're sharing are musicians that we've gotten to work with around the world, many of whom are independent musicians who are also hoping for more people to listen to their work, listen to their music. So
Yep.
the more that people share and the more that people engage with our content, content creation is the whole thing. But we're trying to do this to get the word out on all of these different great musicians around the world. So
For sure.
your likes and shares and comments and subscribes and messages go a long, long way.
Yes. Totally. Well, thank you for
I did
that.
the spiel.
You did the spiel. The spiel
I
is
took it.
done. And I got to log off because I got to
You
run.
gotta go. You gotta
But
go. He's got a big meeting. I'm so excited for you.
yes, it's going to be fun. I'll tell you about it later. And we'll see you next week on the next entry points. Congrats
Congrats.
on 10 podcasts. That's a monumental
Monumental.
monumental
Congrats to you as well, my friend.
accomplishment in the
Yes.
paragons of media.
Mm.
Anyway, okay.
End every podcast with a new voice. Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Have a good meeting.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Entry Points Radio. You can find the full playlist and connected links for this episode in the show notes. Subscribe for behind the scenes, playlist archives, and more at our Substack and Patreon. Your support makes our work possible. Follow us on Instagram at Entry Points Radio. If something in the episode opened a door for you, send it to a friend. That's the whole point. We'll be back next week with more music beyond the algorithm.